Thank you. I appreciate the chance to be here today. I appreciate the fact that all of you on a Sunday afternoon, instead of doing whatever you might have done, you came out to show your support for this constitutional right and to hear from candidates for office who are here to tell you where they stand, and I'm glad to have that opportunity. For myself, I'm Rich Cordray. I was born and raised in Central Ohio. All three of us candidates are from Central Ohio here. I was born and raised near Grove City in Jackson Township, Franklin County. I live west of Grove City now in Pleasant Township, Franklin County, with my wife and twins who are 9, a boy and a girl. And I grew up in unincorporated land, therefore, and there's always been lots of hunting and fishing in our area. We live in the big Darby Creek watershed, and I'm comfortable with that as a way of life. I am right now your elected Ohio Treasurer. I appreciate any of you who voted for me. Those of you who didn't, I'll give you another chance this year. And I serve you every day by representing you and me and protecting our taxpayer dollars. As treasurer, every time we can make a nickel or save a nickel for taxpayers, we make it a point to find a way to do it, because every dollar we can make or dollar we can save is a dollar that does not have to be raised in taxes. Last year for the state of Ohio, this last fiscal year just concluded, we set a record on investment income for the state, $464 million, which again, every dollar of that is a dollar we don't have to raise in taxes for our state government. At the same time, in my office, we made it a point to do what Robert was talking about, cut out unnecessary outside contracts that cost the taxpayers money. We rooted one out that had existed for 25 years. Maybe when it first was entered into, it made sense because it was computer work that was maybe difficult to do in that era. Now it's simple to do. The state had been paying $25,000 a month for the last 25 years. We ended that, brought that work in-house, and now we do it for next to nothing. That's the kind of attitude that I have brought to the state treasury and will bring to the Attorney General's office, looking out for citizens and taxpayers. The other thing I want to say is that as your treasurer, I have had experience in cleaning up a mess in state government. If you'll remember, the elections in 2006 turned a lot on the financial scandals in state government. The CoinGate, you remember they were investing in rare coins and Beanie Babies and collectibles, LeBron James pictures and all kinds of Jackie Onassis signed letters. We cleaned that up, we put a stop to it. And it's been a process there of rebuilding the public trust since day one when I walked into that office. And we have done that and done it with enthusiasm. And if I do have the opportunity, if you see fit to elect me as Attorney General, I will walk into that office with the same enthusiasm for restoring the public trust there. And there's work to be done, no doubt about it. In addition, let me say that as Attorney General, I have some background in that office. I served as State Solicitor 15 years ago in that office. I made it a point when I was there to work to keep convicted criminals who had been convicted and sentenced to prison behind bars. We worked on their cases in federal habeas in federal court. We worked on their cases in the Ohio Supreme Court. I made it a point to begin a project there. We called it the Criminal Law Project, where we supported local prosecutors who were seeking to have their convictions upheld in the Ohio Supreme Court by joining in their cases, supporting them, briefing those cases, and arguing to the Ohio Supreme Court on behalf of law and order in the state of Ohio. That's the background I bring as your next Attorney General. On the gun issues in particular, one thing that you need to know is that we now have a state official who is an enthusiastic gun advocate in Governor Ted Strickland. Ted has aggressively and enthusiastically endorsed me for this position of Attorney General. I consider him a friend. I consider him an ally. We will work together on these issues. And that means, as Michael and Robert have both said, enforcing the law without fear or favor, enforcing concealed carry, making sure that local law enforcement is properly trained so that they are not resistant to that law, but they understand that their job, as is also true of the courts, as is also true of the Attorney General, is to uphold the constitutional rights of our citizens, and they need to do it every day in our communities for this right to be effective. And also, we will now enforce the new Castle Doctrine, which you know, Governor Strickland signed into law about a month ago and is new law in Ohio that strengthens the right of self-defense. What was said earlier about the origin of our constitutional rights is correct. These rights do not exist because they were written down in a constitution, although that is the most fundamental document in our society. They were written down in that constitution because they reflect the reality of human life. And the framers of our Constitution were building on political philosophers who came before them, John Locke, Thomas Hobbes, who spoke in detail about the fundamental right to self-preservation, which has to do with the right to bear arms as an ancillary. Those rights are inherent, they are natural rights. That's what our Declaration of Independence says about rights given to us by God. And those are the rights that are enshrined in our Constitution. And that outlook needs to inform our public officials in this state. As I said, I know it informs the governor's outlook, and it will inform mine. So I hope I have the opportunity to serve as your Attorney General. I'm glad to have the opportunity today to come and speak to you and have a chance to earn your support. I appreciate you giving us a hearing, giving us time to speak to you, and I thank you very much for your consideration.